our talks be a bit shorter because we're providing you with the documents, the downloadables, if you will, with information about the essential oils and the crystals. So after we're done, you'll be able to see those in the comment area. And if you're watching this as a replay or on YouTube, you'll see them there, or you can reach out to either Patrice or I to get that information. So Patrice, thank you again for coming live with me as we do our monthly series on oils and crystals for particular things, for particular seasons. And we are talking about peak performance this month because we're heading into the school season. Oh my gosh. How did that happen so fast?
I know. I cannot believe August is next week.
And I will say, as a native New Yorker, there's still a month of summer left. But now that I'm in Virginia, school starts much sooner here. So it's such an interesting dynamic. And I know there's some places that have full year school. So peak performance happens year round. But let's start by talking about the oils. And what we're going to do for those of you who are watching is we're going to talk about an oil for peak performance, which will be Patrice, and then I will share a crystal that coincides with that oil and is also for peak performance. So it's all up to you, Patrice. Start us off.
Yes, absolutely. So the things that we need to perform well are focus, energy, and the performance of our brain and our body for whatever task we're doing, whether it's school, sports, activities, you name it. The one I love to start out with is lemon. Lemon is very uplifting to the mood. When we're in a better mood, we do better. It gives us a little burst of energy in a really enlightened way. So we are pumped and we're ready to go. The other thing that is nice is that when this is diffused, not only do you get that, but it cleanses the air, which helps make our body healthy, which is going to enhance our performance. Also, pro tip, couple drops in some water in the morning is going to help support our bodies internally in those filtering organs. And it's a delicious and great way to start the day.
It is, because when you can start your day fresh and clean, so to speak, it's very helpful. So to go along with the lemon oil, I have citrine. Now, citrine is called the yellow quartz. It's because it looks like a clear quartz with a yellow tinge to it. And this helps you. This is a crystal that helps you feel motivated and inspired, and it helps with critical thinking. Now, when you are using any of the crystals, you can use them by putting them in your pocket, wearing them as jewelry, an amulet, or even having larger pieces in places where you need that concentration or you need to do that critical thinking. That's it for the citrine.
Yes, and I have crystals strategically placed all over my desks and work areas, and it makes a difference. The next two oils that we're going to talk about are really specific to that cognitive performance. The first one we're going to talk about is rosemary. And while it is absolutely delicious for our chicken and potatoes in meals, it is delicious for our brains. So it's a good mix with the lemon and peppermint, wonderful in the diffuser. It really helps cognitive function. So when you are studying, when you are starting to feel fatigued and need that uplift, needs our brain to kind of kick back into gear just a little bit longer, then that is a really good time to bring out rosemary in the diffuser. Also very, very positive to ward off any type of like crud that may be coming around as we start getting into these activities.
And rosemary, so funny story, rosemary is definitely one that perks up your brain, right? And I had created a blend, not thinking, it was a blend for respiratory, because rosemary also helps with opening up the lungs, and I was dealing with some crud. And so I was putting it on at night, not thinking, and I could not get to sleep for anything. And finally it hit me. Oh, that's because there's rosemary in this blend. You can use it many other times during the day, but not before the evening. So it really does.
That's proof.
Yeah. So rosemary is green. And here we have green aventurine, which is a great crystal to help actually open your crown chakra, which is opening you up to receive messages and to connect with others besides divine. And this is a crystal, if you are in any kind of work that has you deal with customers, this is a really good crystal to utilize because it helps with the customer service aspect of life. We have lots of things that come our way when we deal with customers, and green aventurine will help you with that, to be alert and to be able to deal with customers as they come your way.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That's one of my favorites. I have a bracelet up that I love and pull out all the time. Um, Kind of, I would say a related cousin to rosemary is Spanish sage. And this one is fairly new to the catalog. We've been enjoying it for about a year. And it also is super strong for cognitive function, but this one has a little bit of a different flavor, no pun intended. You can use it in your cooking. Where rosemary helps with like mental fatigue, Spanish sage is really good for memory and recollection and mental clarity. I know as we get tired, as we get overwhelmed, as we age, as we have way too many things on our plates, which happens quite easily, then that brain fog kicks in. And this is where Spanish sage is going to be very effective. Just like diluting it and putting a little bit on the brain stem, having it diffused. If you cannot diffuse where you are, then using lava stones. I was looking for the one on my desk that I have apparently moved. There are lots of ways where you can breathe that in, even just like, have the bottle with you and, take a little sniff. And it'll give you that boost that you need. If you are preparing for something that, like a speech or a paper or a test, then diffusing Spanish sage, rosemary is good for this as well, while you're studying, and then be able to take a whiff of that when you're ready to perform or take the test. It's going to create that association, help you recall what you studied a lot better than without.
It's a good for those who are studying. So let's say, a lot of schools and public places have like a no scent. Now, you and I both know that these are natural. They don't have the same impact that fake scents do, but there are places that have those no scent rules. So if someone's going into test taking or that type of thing, can they safely ingest Spanish sage?
Yes, absolutely. And this is something that is very, very specific to doTERRA essential oils. I cannot reiterate that enough, because these are the oils that are totally pure and safe for ingestion. So please make note of that. For the oils where the plants are safe, it is going to have a supplement fact on the back. I know this is a little bit blurry, but that's going to be your last double check that yes, you can safely ingest this. You can do your herbs, like a whole drop of that might be a lot. So you can just do like a little toothpick and put it on a cracker, and it will be delicious and give you what you need. But you can also do a drop in an empty veggie cap and swallow that down. You can mix it into any of your foods and beverages and enjoy it, enjoy the flavor, but you're also getting all those mental, physical, and emotional health benefits along with it. But yes, that's a great way to do it. And you can also like do dilute a little bit and massage it to the bottom of your feet and put your socks on, so you can still and bottom of the big toe is the pressure point for your brain. So that would be a really great spot for all these brain oils. And that way, you're getting that topical use without having the aroma like out in the room.
Love that. I love the tip about where on the feet to put it. That's great. Thank you. So the crystal that I've chosen to coincide with Spanish sage is tiger's eye. And this has a beautiful differentiation between the lighter and the darker, and it has this sheen. And this is really good for emotional and physical endurance. So if you're going to, let's face it, tests are emotional for a lot of people. They get stressed. They start double thinking about stuff. They say, well, should I just pick C if it's multiple choice, because then I have a chance of getting the answer? Get yourself some tiger's eye, wear it, put it in your pocket, have it with you, reach into that pocket when you get that stress during that test, rub on it, and allow the energy of the crystal to help you out. Tiger's eye is also really good if you are facing adversity. And again, for some, test taking, things where you are being mentally challenged to perform, or physically challenged to perform, are create an adversity for some people. So that's my take on Tiger's eye.
Yes. Oh, so good. So good. Now, the next oil is really specific to focus, and this is going to be supportive for those of us that may have a regular struggle being able to focus on the task at hand. It is great for I just enjoy thinking about things and letting my mind wander, and sometimes I should not be doing that as much as I'm doing it, and I need to rein it in. Afternoon fatigue, where we need that extra boost, and that is where InTune is going to come into play. This is a beautiful blend of oils that smells magnificent, but it helps to slow down overactive brain activity. But then it has some lime essential oil in there that's going to give us the boost for the one thing that we need to focus on in that moment. So it's not sedating, it's not going to make you tired, it's just regulating what you're thinking about, so you can have that singular focus that we're looking for. Something to note about InTune is most of the doTERRA rollers are what's called a touch, and you'll see that on the label. Touch means that it is diluted. The InTune is not. This is 100% essential oil. So you might want to be mindful of that. You only need a little bit, a little dab. For people with sensitive skin, you may want to use a little lotion or a carrier oil, like a fractionated coconut oil. I love doing this on the brainstem, or just like a little dab on my chest, so it's right there. Pressure points on the wrist, and it is so helpful and really, really effective at what it does.
So it sounds like it's really useful for people whose brains go ping, 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 with all of the different, if your to-do list is longer than a Post-it note, InTune is for you. I think that should be like a t-shirt.
Oh my gosh, yes, that needs to be like a new rule of life for sure. Yes, and we're just in that society where the adult attention span is 3 seconds, friends. 3 seconds, because we are so trained now to be bopping all over the place with the notifications and multiple screens and and we've forgotten how to sit with something for a long time. And InTune is going to be your friend when you need to do that. It helps us retrain our brain to be able to do that successfully.
Yes. Okay. So the crystal that I have for you for this purpose is hematite. And Patrice was talking a little bit earlier about her brain being all over the place, like being up here. And hematite is a very grounding crystal. So it's what's going to like bring you back into your body so that you can focus. It helps guard against distractions because you're grounding yourself, you're keeping yourself centered. And hematite is also a crystal that is very heavy for its size. So if I put these two together, the carnelian, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, such a different size, same weight. So just so that tells you like how grounding this crystal is. So hematite might not be something that you're going to get a big chunk of to carry around. I'd recommend a smaller one, but this is a very useful desk crystal to have around, so that when you're in the working environment, you can keep yourself grounded and focused.
Yes. Oh, that is so good. And I'm glad you brought up grounding. Is when we tend to get up in our heads, and we'll even say, I'm all up in my head. That is what's happening energetically. We need to be like back down in our body and back down and centered. So thank you for bringing that up, because that was perfect. The next oil I'm going to talk about is one that everybody needs to have with them all the time because it is so versatile, and that is peppermint. And we've talked about it in some of our previous sessions, but we're going to talk about today with the focus of performance. It because of the way that it opens the airways and oxygenates your body, it gives you this nice burst of energy and burst of focus when we need it. I love having a citrus and peppermint first thing in the morning, because I am not a morning person and I need that extra get up and go. And then I might need it again in the afternoon to keep going. And then maybe again later on. You can't get enough of it. So It's going to give you that burst. So when you're getting ready to study, it's great when you're getting ready to do a performance and you might be anxious and kind of restricting your breath. Then take a drop of peppermint, just breathe that in, and it'll help you relax. When you are getting ready to get onto the sports field, you need to be able to breathe. And then peppermint is going to help you with that. It's also going to help with muscle soreness. A lot of the performance that we're doing is physical this time of year, and really good to massage in with a lotion or carrier oil. It is tingly. Make sure you dilute it and massage that into sore muscles, and it really helps relax. If you happen to have a little tummy trouble that's keeping you off your game as well, awesome to digest. That is, I'm going through that today. So peppermint has been my friend. That's why I'm here and actually able to speak to you in a coherent manner. Is a couple of drops of peppermint in water or hot tea is very, very effective at helping balance that out. Headaches from stress, massage into the temples and the back of the neck, and you'll feel much better and be ready to go on about your task. So good. Such a good oil.
It is. And I want to bring back what we talked about last month, which is oil pulling using a coconut oil and a couple drops of peppermint, because so let's just face the facts. If you're out and about and you are interacting with people to be on your best game, you want some fresh breath. And that peppermint oil is going to help you with that. Before I knew about essential oils, back in a prior life when I was a teacher, I was a GED preparation teacher. I would, when my students went in to take the test, I gave them peppermints. So they would go in with a pocket of peppermints, and peppermints are pink and white, right? So the crystal that I'm choosing for this one is rose quartz. Now, most of us think about rose quartz for love, and it's like the unconditional love crystal, but it's also really wonderful for concentration and alleviating stress. So you'll notice this is a big piece of rose quartz. I think rose quartz and amethyst are the most well-known crystals, and you can get a ton of jewelry in rose quartz. So it's a great one to wear when you go into that test or when you're looking to have the best performance that you possibly can. Yes, it's for love, but it's also for that concentration and that alleviating that stress.
That's awesome. I did not know that. I'm going to use that more often now. Fantastic. All right. The last oil that we're going to talk about today is an oil blend called Deep Blue. And this is a combination of oils that are very supportive to the physical body and provide restoration and relaxation to our muscles and joints. It's got a little bit of wintergreen and camphor and peppermint and a myriad of oils that give that holistic support. It is tingly, so you are going to want to dilute that in a unscented lotion, in some type of carrier oil, and great for use before a workout, after a workout for recovery. Again, when we start to get stressed, this is another good one for temples, back of neck. If you hold stress in your jaw, then right there on that hinge is going to be very, very helpful. If you have any type of body work as part of your wellness plan, massage, chiropractic, rolfing, anything like that, then this is going to be really helpful before you have that body work. So your muscles are going to be relaxed and they're going to take to those changes a lot better. And then afterward, it can be an adjustment when you are getting adjusted, and it's going to help your body hold those adjustments and all that good stuff that you've just done. And this one, because of the tingly nature and because it's kind of like a full body oil, then you want to make sure to note some safety facts. One, be aware of what you have on your fingertips. You don't want to have this or peppermint on your fingertips and actually rub it in your eyes or go to the restroom and touch sensitive parts of our body. And if you get it in one of those places or it's just a little too much and you want to lessen that sensation on our skin. Do not use soap and water. Oil and water do not mix. It's going to drive it in deeper. You're going to want to rinse that off with any type of carrier oil. You can even get your canola oil out of the kitchen in a pinch and just rinse it off with the oil. But the good thing to note is that these are completely natural products that your body recognizes. Worst case scenario, you're uncomfortable for a few hours and then your body metabolizes it and then you're done. And that's it. But the nice thing about Deep Blue is it is very versatile for all of those use cases of physical activity. So it comes in a lotion form. It comes in this like great stick, so you don't have to get it on your hand. You can just rub it where it hurts. And this one also has a little bit of an oil called copaiba in it, which is fantastic. So you've got a lot of options that are going to fit you and your activity level. But again, really versatile and really supportive to the body.
I love Deep Blue. In fact, yesterday morning, my husband got up and he said his back was bothering. I'm like, lay back down. I'm putting some Deep Blue on your back. I've used it on the knees, on the feet. It's been, oh my gosh, I've been using Deep Blue for years. Love it.
Yes. And I had a client actually that had trouble, that this helped her insomnia, because she would hold so much stress in her body that when she would go to bed, she would just be like clenched. And also the oils in it are oils that are emotionally relaxing. So she would just massage her like lower legs and feet before bed. And that was a game changer in helping her sleep.
That's great. That's great. And I was thinking that massaging the knees, the feet area isn't inhaling it, right? Because it has that energetic, like eye-opening scent to it. So if you're keeping it down lower, you're not inhaling it, and it shouldn't impact your sleep as much. But the other side of like, your body relaxing, that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I love the idea of back here, because a lot of us hold stress in our shoulders and our neck area. Okay. I'm a Deep Blue fan, if you can't tell. So I showed this to you earlier, and this is the Carnelian. And this will boost physical energy, productivity. And there's one other thing I want to say about it, which I will in a second. But the physical activity now, all I keep picturing is someone running a race, and this, you're not going to carry a hunk of this in your pocket, right? You want that speed. So you can get small bead bracelets like this that aren't a whole lot of extra weight. Okay. True fact, I've never run in my life, so I don't know if this is too much interference. I'm thinking that maybe not, but you can get small little beads to work with, so that they're not interrupting and they're not weighing you down. So as I said, the Carnelian will boost that physical energy, but it's also really good for the sacral chakra, which is where your creativity is. So when you talk about peak performance, for those of you who are in creation, the arts, the singing, the poetry, the writing, all of that stuff, the Carnelian is going to help you focus in on that creativity that you are looking for and desiring. Okay.
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
I hope you all feel prepared. You've got lots of options, and that's the great thing about all with the oils and the crystals and everything in the wellness space, is you have tons of options to find that perfect combination that fits you, fits your situation, and they are all incredibly effective. Very effective.
And the more you watch Patrice and I each month, you'll see that there's a crossover. So, we talked about peppermint last month for what burns you up. And then we're talking about peppermint this month for peak performance. So you'll see that by adding oils to your natural medicine cabinet, you're going to be able to work on so many different things that are happening in your life. Same thing with crystals. They work with the physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and one crystal can do so many different things for you. So keep watching us. We'll keep sharing, and we have pages for you. We have a downloadable on the crystals we talked about today. and a downloadable on the oils we talked about today. And we'll post them on our pages where you're watching these. And then if you see this on YouTube, again, if we can get the link there, we will. If not, reach out to either one of us and we would be glad to send them your way. Anything else you want to say before we go, Patrice?
No, just enjoy these last few days of summer and take that deep breath and find the joy in rolling into everything that autumn has to bring, because while it is a lot going on, it's an awesome time. And we want to be here, and we are here to support you through that. So we wish you the best.
And so giving a sneak peek, the next time Patrice and I get together to do this, we will be talking about keeping yourself healthy during the fall season, because there's lots of critters that come out during that season. And we want you to have the opportunity to get prepared, to be healthy and be proactive rather than reactive. All right, until next time, thank you, everybody.